We are live. How is everyone this evening? We had Lars, Wendy English, and the one-eyed cat himself here early. Twisted Mopar Dennis was here. Run, Dennis, run. Bruce Colgin. I have a friendly reminder that registration is open for the 5th annual AHRA No Name Nationals. In case you didn't know, it's been open a little while. We opened it earlier again this year because we had the ability to. Mexican Spec, Dean Stevenson, Junkyard Delta. I cannot imagine how cold it is where he is, but I'm sure it is. Hot Rod Guy Garage Russell. Clayton's Toolbox, Vintage Adventure Drives, coming from work tonight. Dr. Go, as they call him. Bigfoot Mark. Talk a little bit about something he's doing later in the show. Colleen Tebow is here. The Mid-South Lowballer. Buff Del Campo, maker of the A-Body El Camino. Danny Boyd. Glad all of you could make it. Mean Street Mopar is here. Mean Street Mopar, what's the verdict? What is definitely going to be in Sykeston September 24th through 26th? Let us know. Is it going to be the Diplomat? Is it going to be the truck? You have 271 days, 3 hours, 57 minutes. You've got to know, right? My Aunt Nancy is here. Big Hoopty Mike. Pure Pontiac Garage NSB Custom Cars. Glad you could be here. Indecisive Garage says, Merry Christmas, everyone. He's telling you that it is 364 days until Christmas 2026. Thumper's just here to regulate on Tanner. Mountain Mopars. Hope you had a Merry Christmas, John. Well, hope everybody here did. Hope you did too. I enjoy his channel. He has some cool vintage stuff going on over there. I like the race car, but I like the other stuff he's doing over there too. It's fun to stick my head in on that channel every now and then. I would love it if he could make it to Sykeston this year. Andrew Nelson says, good evening from Team Nivlac 57. Hello, sir. Glad you could make it. Potential threat for Triple Crown this year. I don't know if they've decided what they're doing or not, but I know that he's had a lot of interest in that class. Let's see. All right. Main Street says he's going to get the cylinder heads for the D100 next weekend. So you're going to go for the truck, right? It's all good. I'm so used to us congregating here and doing this, but no, man, we're glad you're here. Glad you're here. Enjoy your channel. Ryan Bars Ness is here. Howdy. Glad you all could make it. You know, it's almost anticlimactic with this last Friday of the year live, because we give you the date so much earlier and we talk about the classes and changes and so forth between when we give you the date now, which is usually around Thanksgiving and now. And so now it's, you know, we don't have as much we need to do. We don't have as many big surprises as we used to have New Year's Eve-ish. But here we are. Oh, you all appreciate this. Rich thinks he needs a watermark on his channel, so he put that on there. And no, he's not kidding. Mean Street says that he picked up a free 318 truck oil pan today. That shouldn't be too hard. Usually the truck one is not too bad to get because most of those come out of trucks. So that one shouldn't be hard if you need one. So you're going to try to go with a W2 headed small block? Is that kind of what you're thinking? Mountain Mopar says, I'm hoping to make it out there this year, and thanks for watching the channel. He has a 360 to go and some new videos dropping soon. Going to get a lot done on the Duster. Outstanding. I think it's great. No matter what you bring, I think it's great. Mountain Mopar, since you haven't been there before, just know we're putting a lot behind this 5th annual. It's going to be our 5th. It's going to be a big deal. So this is going to be, I see every indication we're going to have a huge turnout. And it's going to be a great time. So I'm really looking forward to it. Our announcer, the voice of the No Name Nationals, is in the house. Ron Ward says, hope you had a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. That goes for all of you. 356 to go. Well, here's our calendar here. But we would love to see all of you guys come out. I was talking with Dust Devil Brian earlier today because I talk with a lot of you guys more offline than on for sure. And I was talking with Brian. I said, I can only think of about half a dozen people I never want to have there. Other than that, everybody else is welcome. But no, it's a great crowd, and we want to see a lot of people show up. It's going to be so much fun. I mean, gosh, we've already got so many heavy hitters declaring for the burnout contest, the bracket, Triple Crown. Every class is scaling up. It's just going to be exciting this year. And some other things, too. We've got some other people who are wanting to do some call-out ideas. And one thing we don't want to do is add too many classes to the No Name Nationals. We don't want to try to divide people up into too many different classes, especially since the classes will take from one another. There's only so many people want to do class racing in the first place. But we're going to have classes, you know, and some of these other ideas are good for call-outs. They're going to do call-outs, organize it through their channel. If they get big enough and enough interest, then what will happen is they'll eventually become a bona fide class at the No Name Nationals. But at some point, you can only have so many classes and only take so much time, and then something else will have to go. So, you know, Triple Crown is doing really well. There's a lot of interest. And we wouldn't want to say, hey, you know, out of the blue one year say, well, we're not going to run Triple Crown next year to run this class, but we will have to start picking and choosing at some point. But that said, a few classes, there's a place for everyone, and it's a great time. And so there are some ideas. Thumper wants to do a call out. A 400-inch call out. Bigfoot Mark wants to do this similar thing. He wants to do a call out, but he wants to do some pink style call out, that type of grudge racing, 2 out of 3 negotiated races. That's great. I think these are great ideas, and we're going to work with them, and it's going to be a lot of fun this year. And Ron Ward, he says he can't give enough thanks to Skelton Raceway. Those folks are amazing. Indeed, they are. They are a wonderful venue. They really are. Ron Ward, at the awards ceremony last year, he and I were talking while we were waiting for a couple of things to come to us so we could start the awards ceremony. I told Ron, I said, I really want to see some manual transmissions turn out at the No Name Nationals for our 5th event. And Ron, just like that, peeled right off the top of his head. He said, we'll call it the 3-pedal party. And I thought that was a great idea. And what I'm kind of thinking is that we have a class, like a feature type of thing. That's not really a class per se, but we have a feature event each year that we can do something different every year. Like, you know, this year upcoming, we're gonna have the 3-pedal party. Next year, it could be something else. It could be who knows, trucks, vans, wagons, blowers, who knows? Well, it'll just be something. It'll be something, right? But this year, what we want our feature thing to be is the 3-pedal party. I want to see us get some stick shift cars out, definitely a stick bracket, definitely some stick match racing, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Why stick bracket? Well, we don't have to not do it because other people don't do it. We can. It's a lot of fun. Let's not forget, we've had a few stick shift guys do some really amazing things and surprise a lot of people running brackets at this event over the years. So we're going to have an entire program for them coming up in 2026. I'm really looking forward to that. So if you guys are thinking about it, this is the time. Weight break for a column shift. We're already getting too technical. Vintage Adventure drives. I need to get all 3 pedals for my Scamp. Ron's already thinking 2027, the mini truck mashup. Maybe, you never know. And this is possibility. Let's get to 2026 first. Now, I saw one up here I wanted to grab. A comment up here. Mountain Mopar says, I've made it to 140 so far and hoping to make the rest by the time. Well, I will tell you this. You can ask the people in the chat. We got a lot of No Name 500 folks in the chat, and they go ahead, they register, and then you appear on my main page, and they know that you're registered, and you have, placed your bets on yourself. You're betting on yourself at that point. And you've got plenty of time with 271 days, 3 hours, 48 minutes to go until the No Name Nationals. You've got plenty of time, but people that go ahead and register first, they're showing that they're serious, and people will know, and you'll probably get a lot of subs from that. But we'll leave it to people in the chat to advise you on that. But we've got 2 channels registered in the No Name 500 so far. You can go to my homepage and see that. That'll go through johnwilburn.com. We'll take you there, but you're watching that channel now. But if you go to my main page, you'll see our registered No Name 500 channels. We have 2 so far. And remember, we're not normally registering, and we don't normally open registration until right now. We've already got a bunch of channels registered. Heathens are allowed. Yes, they are. Heathens are encouraged. I'm really hoping the whole Bad Tree crew will be there this upcoming year for our 5th annual. I'm really hoping so. Who knows? Might we see a return to the Burnout Pit by Blake? You never know. We'll see Blake on the track. You never know, but I'd sure like to see that. Maybe Blake will be there with the Duster. Maybe J-Bo will bring the Nacho Cuda. Who knows? But anyway, we're always glad to see Bad Tree in the house. And Bad Tree has been represented every year. Turbo Tom is here. Hello. Yes, One-Eyed Cat says he's looking forward to seeing Mountain Mopar stuff. I agree. Mini truck stuff? Maybe. Of course, you can always bring it anyway. Lenco for the win? Maybe. Lencos are welcome. There are 2 stick shift series that run in this area, and best I can tell, they split apart because one wanted Lencos and one didn't. That's the best I can tell. Come on, guys. There's room for both of you. And Main Street Mopar says he's putting together the W2 318 for the D100 and then a 440 and putting the Duster. Well, let me tell you, there's a Diplomat in the mix too. I hope it's your year, man. We'll see you on the track. Vintage Adventure drives, selling Mountain Mopars. He registered in January and hit 500 by May. And he can absolutely do it. Mountain Mopars is a great channel, and I think you'll have no problem at all getting that. Yeah, and a lot of them have been already subscribing. That's right. That's right. Dust Devil Garage is here. He says, howdy. As a burnout, maybe? Yeah. Whatever y'all want to do. Thumper's threatening to put a 4-speed in his car, Ace Ventura. Yeah, whatever you want to do. That's a great thing about the No Name Nationals. There's a place for just any kind of misfit or whatever it is you guys like to build in your imagination. Mountain Mopars is planning on getting that taken care of in the spring. A lot of people are subscribed and are greatly appreciated. Okay. Dean says fortified 7 1/4 axle, Don. How do you fortify a 7 1/4 axle? I'd be more concerned about, a drive shaft loop to protect my car from the 7 1/4 axle. Mr. Quick Wrench. Hello, sir. He says, what's up, guys? Happy you made it. Hot Rod Guy Garage says the waiters are on. Yes. We've needed them every live lately, haven't we? As have I, Colleen. I've been subscribed to his channel for a good while. Thumper said he would need to find 3 on the tree parts to keep it that way, and no idea where those would even be. Yeah, that's true. Those would be hard to find anymore. Bar's Nest wants to bring a Super B. Cool. I like the Super B. Dr. Go said it's exciting to see everyone's hard work and unique ideas come together and scream down the track. Yeah, I like that it's people's unique ideas. We don't just make some classes so that you see a lot of ideas get pruned away to fit in a class. That's the great thing about not having it too heavy with classes. But there's a lot of things. I was talking to some people today that are definitely coming back. We're going to do the 6-cylinder bracket again. The response to that was great. So we're going to have a 6-cylinder bracket again. We're going to have a manual transmission bracket for Saturday. The Friday bracket, of course, will be there. And Triple Crown is going to have qualifying on Friday. Not qualifying to narrow and set the field. Nobody's going to be eliminated from running, but it's going to set a run order. And I think it'll be exciting. Friday qualifying for Triple Crown. I just think that's going to be a lot of fun. Quick Wrench is looking for a mini spool for a 1-ton axle. Well, I mean, if that's a Dana 60, if that's what you mean by a 1-ton axle, then that shouldn't be too hard to find, I would think, but I don't know. We certainly know full spools. By the way, Mr. Quick Wrench, welding is technically not allowed. You should not be welding differentials to go down the track. Mount Mopar says, I don't know if it's unfortunate or not, but the Rumblebee and the 89 have both been acting up. Some more videos on both of those. Well, that's the nature of it. Just be glad they're acting up in December and not September. Ryan, he's talking about racing under the lights. We offered that last year. And everybody on Thursday, yeah, man, we want to do it. And come Saturday, we had calls to the lanes and crickets. I'm tired, man. I'm worn out. I've made 20 passes. So we said, these people just want to eat. So instead, the next year, we had the community cookout instead, shut the track down. The place was full. Everybody wanted to eat. They say they want to race at night, but in reality, they just want to. By that time, they're so worn out from sleeping in a tent for 4 days. And just want to crash and eat, and that's the better idea, truthfully. I mean, that's really why. We offered that. So Blake, who is doing the real life's Craigslist here, he had a 68 Dart that he traded for a 440 Duster. And now he wants to trade a 440 Duster for a 68 Fastback Barracuda. He will eventually get there. So you're looking for a fastback version of the Nacho, right? Vintage Adventure Drive says the only time he's raced during the daylight was at No Name Nationals. The only time he's raced at night before that event. Yeah, I mean, night's okay. I mean, but it just seems like people are just worn out, and I get it. And Bigfoot Mark's trying to change the burnout contest. I will tell you, people generally bring different cars for burnout than the track. It overlaps a little, certainly, but if we had it on Saturday night, turnout wouldn't be nearly as high. That's just a fact, because a lot of people after awards are going to get on the road and leave. And that's been a big event for us, has been the burnout competition. I mean, I can't prioritize what people didn't want to do over what people did want to do. And the other thing too is if people just say, hey, I'm just going to eat and chill on Friday night, and then we've moved the other and the turnout drops, man, we've really burned ourselves. So we're not really looking to change up the format and the times and that. We're not looking to make that kind of change at this point, but we've got a lot going on here. What we are looking to do is get more people that want to do call outs, more people who want to get in the classes we have. I mean, man, there is plenty of room. There's going to be a ton of competition in burnout, ton of competition in bracket. I fully expect that the 6-cylinder class is only going to be bigger this year. A lot of interest last year. And the manual transmission, 3-pedal party, bracket, match races, that's going to be a barrel of fun. So if you have a stick shift car, this is going to be a great event to bring it to. Wendy's saying more food 2026 from the Englishes. Yeah, we're going to scale that up. J-Bo Laveris, what? I'll trade 268 fastbacks for the Duster. There you go, Blake. Right on. There you go. The sister car to mine could be bought. It's a small block stroker motor on alcohol, $40,000. There you go. Blake's calling him out. I like J-Bovirus over J-Bovirus. It almost kind of works. It's like a species or something. Oh, goodness. But it's going to be a good time in Sykeston. Talking with Possum about it. They have a good time. I was talking with Little Possum about it. He says they get to enjoy the event more than some of the others they run. I mean, just because of the workload is a little different with us. We have our own program within the program. But it is going to be a great time. And if you've not yet registered, the link is pinned in the chat. Registration is open. We opened it early this year, and of course, people flooded in, so registration numbers are already good. Dr. Goes says, are call-outs heads-up racing, or can it be bracket racers too? You can do a bracket call-out. It's been done plenty of times before. You can have a bracket call-out. You sure can. And so what we did last year, and what we'll undoubtedly do next year, well, this year and next year, is we had 2 lanes that stayed open for people to just continuously come up there anytime they wanted to make a pass. And then those lanes will get paused to let a class run. And then those lanes would always stay reopened. So it stayed really busy that way. But people could make a lot of passes. I want to say that Racer Ray made something on the order of 28 passes. JB made 20-some passes. A lot of people have made a lot of passes this event. You get to make a lot of passes because we just pause it to run classes, and then the open lanes can run. And Mountain Mopars is talking about doing a call-out garage, Joe and bracket racing. Joe's getting to the point where he's just going to have to be selective. He's got so many of those. But that said, hey, I'm good with whatever y'all want to do. Ron is always busy in that tower. Yes, he is. But we'll work with him however we can because we want to take care of Ron. Bad Tree Blake wasn't crazy about doing 10-second eighth miles versus 7s. Well, 2026 is your year to come down and run 6s or 7s or whatever. Thumper says that the Mess 10 of Racer Ray is a hot lapping machine. Didn't even come close to getting warm. Yeah, he made a lot of passes in that. Yeah, Ron he'll be talking nonstop, but he'll also have some fun stuff to call. I know he likes the manual transmission stuff too, so he's going to be enjoying that. I mean, he really liked that idea, so I'm looking forward to that. We got such a good thing going, and we want to be judicious and slow in our changes, because you don't want to radically change something that's great, right? So little improvements, little things here and there. Thumper's he wants to do some 400-inch call out stuff. Bigfoot Mark wants to do some call outs pink style, where you can negotiate 2 out of 3, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. So we can't do too many different things. You know, we've only got so much time, but that said, we do have some good ideas. We'll be doing some new things this year. The big thing, though, is I really want to see a lot of the OGs come back and say, hey, this is the 5th annual. It sure would be a good year to come back. I could only afford to make the trip once or twice over the years, but this year I want to come back. It's an anniversary milestone for us, and I think it will be great to get as many people out as possible. I just think it'd be a fun year to do that. We keep getting more and more notoriety in the media and with bigger channels and people who are on TV and stuff like that. So everyone has now heard of the No Name Nationals. I think that's helping. Of course, this event is always going to be about you guys. Always has been, always will be. But that said, we don't hold it against somebody, because they have, 1 or 2 or 500,000 subs or been on television or something. That's fine. But the event is not built around that. No one's going to bring a show in and you guys support it. You guys are the show. And we like it that way. Old McDonald, hello. Thanks for joining us. Mostly Mopar, a new entrant into the No Name 500. He said, this will be my first year. Can't wait to meet y'all. Likewise, he is registered in the No Name 500. We have 2 channels that are registered, Mostly Mopar and Left Turn Dodge. Mostly Mopar has just over 300. Left Turn Dodge, I don't think he's quite cracked 300, but he's real close. So those 2 both, they're registered right now. And I can't not possibly imagine them not making it. They're going to get it done. Hot Rod Guy Garage says, I've got to decide what I'm building for this year or if I'm going to recycle a project with a different powertrain. Russell, he's one of these guys that always gets it done. And he always does something different. And with Russell, he's going to bring something cool, right? No matter what it is, he's going to bring something cool. Big Hoopty Mike always brings something, always builds something, always does something a little different. We got some people you can just count on doing that because that's who they are and how they are. Russell's one of them. But no matter what he brings, it's something you're going to want to see. Danny Boyd says Santa is a racer. Who knew? Mexican Spec says he would hope that Santa has better taste than that. Japanese cars in general. What would be you guys' favorite Japanese car? Any Japanese car. What would it be? Don says, you all know what I'm bringing. That's right. He's going to bring something quicker, though. Big Mike is thinking probably a 76 Hornet this year. I can see that. Wendy English has taken off half of September and part of October. Yeah, the Englishes, this is their Super Bowl. It's their anniversary weekend, and they plan this road trip together as a family, and I think it's great. Buff Del Campo says Toyota 2000 is his favorite Japanese car. Vintage Adventure Drive says maybe for 2027 I'll bring an old Mercury or maybe a 4-cylinder Pinto. Could be. What are you doing for 2026, Mr. Tanner? We doing the Scamp? Is that the plan? NSB says wouldn't mind having an old Datsun pickup truck. Yeah, but here's the thing. How do you even find one of those? Aren't they all just disintegrated by now? How many of those still exist? Russell says my Swift GTI is my favorite import. It's worthy. Dean says Cam Ray. That sounds like a Camry in some weird part of the world. Dr. Goes says Mitz 3000, Mitsubishi. Talking about one of those. Is that one of those things that's, is that one of those things like the Dodge Stealth? Is that what you're talking about? Mexican specs of those things still exist in Mexico. That's great. I think that's cool. That's cool. I liked them. I remember my dad drove one when he worked for the cable company, and I mean, it just turned to a pile of iron oxide. There was nothing left of it. Vintage Adventure Drive says the Scamp has too many callouts to not show its face. It has to beat a few GM cars. Better pack a lunch. You're going to have some competition. NSB says he found one a while back, a 79 in decent shape. They wanted 12 grand, so I gave up on that. My gosh, what did that truck cost new in the 70s? Mars Nest wants to bring 2 cars, but figure out how will be difficult. Well, that's true for a lot of people. Need a lot of truck and a lot of trailer. Some guys do it. We've had some 2-car trailers show up. Andrew Nelson says the Datsun 25. Okay. I don't even understand Dr. Go's comment here. I'll read it, but I don't even know what he means. Like the Dodge Stealth has active spoiler-based combat and pressure sensors. Okay. Main Street Mopar is going to try to get some different gears for his D100. It's got a 391 and a spool. I want 430 or 456. Well, I mean, if you can't, that 391 is still going to be healthy. Is it an 8 3/4? Is that what's in it? Yeah, 240Z. That makes more sense. Vintage Adventure Drives was going to call out Dallas, but blew a slick before I could make the video. I believe Dallas is bringing a Buick. I don't know if the T-Bird will be in the picture or not, but he says he's going to bring his Buick. Thumper says to Tanner, you want to call out Dallas and his Suburban? Tell you what, don't underestimate him. He can do pretty good in the bracket with that thing. He's run it before. It runs, what, low 10s? No, I think it runs 11s, close to an 11 flat. And it's got these huge tall tires, so he stages super deep with it. I actually have an 8 3/4 456s with a clutch type sure grip in it. Needs freshening up. Vintage Adventure Drives is calling out Dallas in the 63 Buick. Thumper says that 10 and 11s are perfect for Tanner. Tell you what, a slow vehicle can be a real threat in the bracket. Buff Del Campo wants to know if Andrew Nelson's going to run that red Z car again. That low 5-second stretched out Datsun. Yes, and Dallas writes deep on the truck. Yes, he does. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think we're going to have a great time. There's a few things I want to do too, but it's going to depend. If we have enough people pre-register, I keep saying I'd love to have 150 cars pre-registered by Memorial Day. Sure would make a difference to me. Make an awfully big difference in the budget of the event and what we can do. So, you know, if you guys can register and we have that many registered, there's some more things I want to do. Andrew Nelson says someday, but not this year, 2026. So, Andrew Nelson, what do you want to do for 2026? 6th Street Garage, a.k.a. Matthew Ward 627 is here. Hello. Dr. Go says, when you roll in deep with tall tires, how do you know when to stop? You know what? That is a great question for a detailed answer to ask Barkley. I think we had some buffering. Barkley will tell you how to stage within a quarter inch every time. I don't know. I'm not that sophisticated. I'm not a good bracket racer or anything. For me, I usually just roll in really conservatively. I turn that light on and try to do it that the same way every time. I've not tried to go in, and gauge that like these guys do. The experienced racers here will give you a much better answer. Andrew Nelson would be a good one to ask. Dallas would be a good one to ask. You guys that stage that way and do all that, have at it. It's a good question. Wendy English's Dawn needs a new gray No Name Nationals shirt. 2X. His is fading bad. It's 4 years old. Yeah, he wears it enough. This is true. This is true. Mount Mopar says, if your subscribers keep climbing at a steady pace, I'll be registered by then or sort of lock in. Hey, man, if you know you're coming and that's the plan, just commit. Do it. Register. Get in the No Name 500. We got guys registered with 300 now. We've had 2 hacks. Jeff registered. I don't think he had any subs. I was his very first subscriber. We've had guys registered with none. Barrow's registered with 42. Buck Doesn't registered with about that many. Those guys have, 10,000 a piece or so now. Indecisive Garage says, ask him at the track. He'll share his knowledge with you then. Yeah, seasoned racers can really tell you about the deep stage and stuff. All I know is there's nothing I do. With my luck, I would turn the bulb off. Indirect Connection Jason is here. Yeah, Vintage Venture Drives registered was around 50. Yeah, you have over 1,000 now, don't you, Tanner? Or close to it, something like that. Andrew Nelson says, we're trying to get the red Camaro and the Futura for Sick Week. The 87 gray Camaro for land speed. The crap Camaro is probably going to LS Fest, and the 57s for the Tri-5. Got a busy slate coming up. Big Mike registered with 75. Yep. So you're in good company. I mean, just throw in, commit, and do it. I'll tell you, this time of year, you go ahead, register, tell people this is what we're doing, and do it. They'll get behind you. Main Street Mopar says Professor P might have some gears. Yep. Yeah, Vintage Venture Drives at 1,494. And what'd you register with, Tanner? Something like 75 or so, would you say? Something close. Dr. Go just gave you a sub. I've been subscribed for a long time. 38 Racing had 0 subs when he registered. He's almost to 2,000 in 2 years. Yeah. I'll tell you what, this has really caused a lot of people to just catapult. Andrew Nelson says, for a tall tire, barely turn on the stage light, gives you the max rollout for your best DTs. Yep. I mean, there's different ways to look at it. But you're also technically running a longer track too, so. And then, of course, that affects your reaction time, which is the big reason to do it. I'm not a good enough racer to engage in any of that, so. I just try to, no more times than I ever go down the track. I don't go down the track often at all, but I just try to just think through my head, do my processes, not make any mistakes. That's all. I mean, well, we're here to encourage you. We're here to encourage you. But I will say, and again, Shouldn't come from me. It'll come from them, whether they think it's worth the gamble to just go ahead and register and commit. And we put you up on the site and go for it. But we like to see people get in on the No Name 500. We give an award every year to the channel, the most outstanding of the No Name 500 channels. Last year, Vintage Adventure Drives, when I say last year, I mean 2025, Vintage Adventure Drives won the No Name 500. And our trophy is the Cinderella Trophy, because that was the working title for the class when Dallas and I were putting it together originally. We called them the Cinderellas, who's going to the ball, right? And then Barrows gave it the name, the No Name 500, the race before the race, because it's 2 500 subs. We like to see people get in on that. So to get in on that, you got to register and register early, and we get behind you on your journey as you get to 500. And we'll have content creator workshops along the way and so forth and so on. And here is the No Name 500 winner from the second season, Nate from Blue Collar Performance. Nate had fewer than 500. I don't know how many he has now. It's a bunch. He's earned them. And but Nate's one of these driven guys. He knew 100% he was going to make it, and he just buckled down and did it, because that's how Nate rolls. Nate's the kind of guy, if he's going to do something, you can show up and count on it. Vintage Adventure Drives, he's got 1470 in the last year. Yeah, it being in the community gets you on, gets a lot of eyes on you. Big Mike says, I think it's easier to get enough subs nowadays than it was the first couple of years to follow we have now. That's probably true. But we haven't raised the sub number, because the whole point of the sub number, it's not about clout. It's not about monetization. It's not about any of that stuff. It's all just about people investing in the experience. And they say, this is who I am, what I'm building, where I'm from, that kind of thing. And by the time that you go through that, when you roll in the gate, you're going to know a whole lot of people there, and they're going to know you. So it'll be an experience like none other participating in that. That's why we do it. Blue Collar says, just register if you don't make it to be that much more driven for the next one. Yeah, but I'll tell you, it'd be hard for you not to make it. I really, truly believe that. And if you don't make it, if you didn't make it, you would still have a weekend pass. So you're not really risking 95, you're risking 60, and really you're risking more, oh, I didn't get it done than anything. But, and that said, you can also, even if the car doesn't, if you don't get your subs, you still have a weekend pass. If your car doesn't get done, you can always come and, bracket race your daily or whatever. I mean, we don't register any specific car. Turbo Tom. Did you register, Tom? Yes, he did. Let me click here, because I try to... let me do this real quick, because I like to try to get these real time, because I write down how many subs they have at registration. And we got you. All right, Tom. You're in, my man. Thank you. Vintage Adventure Drive says, it amazed me when I showed up to No Name Nationals and the big time people knew who I was rolling through the gate. Just Mopar Joe and Dead Dodge Garage Jamie knew exactly who I was. My mind was blown. Yes, that's how it happens. Yes. And remember, we surprised the staff that worked at the front gate the first year, because she said there's a line that was backed out all the way into Sandywood Road. I said, I can fix that. So I just walked out there and I said, oh, hey, come on in. Oh, hey, come on in. And I'm just waving at me. She said, oh my gosh, how will you ever, get these people's payments doing that? I said, well, I know them all. She said, you knew all of those people? I said, yes. I really did. I knew all of them. So this year, now what we do is they can just trickle in. There is no queue at the gate anymore. So we figured out administratively how to run things a little smoother from the first year to the subsequent ones, but it's going to be great. Engine Light Garage joins us. Hello, glad you could make it. Mostly Mopar says, I haven't been down the track in 15 years. Hopefully it won't be that obvious. There are a lot of people who've made their very first passes down the track at the No Name Nationals. You'll be just fine. And if you've made passes before, it'll be okay. Mexican Spec says it'll be fun if nothing else. Yes, it will. Backwoods Performance says, what it do, people of the internet? Buff Del Campo says he made his first pass this year at what, the age of 70 or 71? Which you just have, Buff? Made your first drag strip pass. Right on. I walked the track with Buff, and then he got out there and made a pass. 71. That's what I was thinking. Thinking you had your 70th last year, so I think that's right. Thumper says, my run in 2024 was my first since 2005. 19 years without having made a pass. Vintage Adventure Drive says, Anna from Blue Grit Garage learned to drive a manual on Thursday and was racing it on Friday in No Name Nationals 2025. True story. Learned to drive a manual transmission in the pits and made her first drag strip pass the next day. That happened. Blue Collar Nate says, we treated it like a test and tune this year, gave zero craps about winning anything, and had more fun than we expected to. Well, we're glad you came out. The event is about having fun. That's what it is. We don't want people to get too caught up in the idea of the seriousness of the competition. And there are people that we have a few hardcore haters out there in the far reaches of the internet. And they just act like because we don't have this uber competitive thing that with sponsors and their prim and proper ideas, that we are horrible. And just can't imagine people want to come just have fun like we do. And Blue Collar Nate says, we are going to win that burnout contest this year, though. I'm telling you guys, Blue Collar Performance is vowing to bring the heat to our burnout competition. And I'm saying you guys need to give them the best run for their money you possibly can. And they're not going to walk away with it. We've got some real serious ringers, and we had a lot of attrition for this past year. Things happened. I saw it coming. I knew that was going to happen, but I'm also seeing at the same time a huge 2026. I was saying that before 2025 happened. I could see it. Jay said, someone say burnout contest. Vintage Venture Drive says, No Name Nationals is like street racing, all your friends and family, but you don't have to worry about the cops showing up. It's perfect. Yeah, we do. We run a legit safety program, and, it is the way it should be. Blue Collar Performance says this will be the best one yet. I agree. And let's get everybody out for it. It's going to be great. I got stories about some of these folks that I don't know. I think maybe this year would be a good time for some story time. And I can tell one. I remember just seeing suggestions and coming around on YouTube, and I saw that blue Pinto wagon of Nate's. Had a turbo. I said, man, that thing is cool. Read his comments, and then I looked his channel and the stuff he does. But I said, this guy needs to be at No Name Nationals. Couldn't get him there that first year, but the second year I got him there, did he ever put on a show? I got a picture of that Pinto with a turbo so molten hot, it looks like it's about to just pour off under the car in the burnout pit. There's a lot of these guys that have we find them in the community, and it's fantastic. Mount Mopar says, I can't wait to get out there to it. It always looks like a blast. Do it. You know where we're going to be. You know when we're going to be there. You know who's going to be there. And I got to tell you that there's, sometimes people are like, I wonder if those people will be as cool in person, or if I really want to meet them. I can promise you, everybody who you see here on YouTube in this community is even cooler and better and more real and authentic in person than on YouTube. And they're great on YouTube, but they're awesome in person. You will not be disappointed meeting these folks. J-Bo wants to do a vehicle giveaway for selling merchandise, but I'm not sure anyone wants 3 parts of one Barracuda. Well, we're going to have a blast. I'm sure hoping you can get the hippie back out, Bad Tree Blake. Big Mike said he only made 1 exhibition pass this year, but I couldn't have had a better time anywhere else. Yeah, Big Mike is always bringing something interesting. Bigfoot Mark says, I hope I don't beat Lee's Lenco darts so bad he doesn't come back in 2027. It's a tall order. That car runs down in the 6s, Mark, deep in the 6s. Thumper likes to undersell so that you're always like, oh, you're not as repulsive as you told us you would be, Thumper. Thumper's actually great in person. He has this sweaty fat guy logo and all. Don't pay attention to that. He's actually very cool. Yeah, Thumper's great. Mostly Mopar one here. Mountain Mopar says, everything keeps going how it is. I'll let my fiance drive the 89 and foot brake it. I will say, for people to drive, they need to be part of your channel. So just make sure of that, because we don't ever want to have the thing of getting in under a channel. We want people to be integrated in the channel. We want people, when they get there, to say, oh, hey, you're such and such. I've seen you on that channel. See what I mean? That's the idea. J-Bola virus, done deal. J-Bo, are you bringing the nacho or the truck this year? Or what are you thinking? Vintage Adventure Drive says, I guarantee y'all have the most fun of anyone at No Name Nationals 2026. You're going to have a lot of competition for that. Blake says, 1 is rust-free and 1 drives. Oh, cool. Thumper says, Big Mike brings wild stuff. His imagination's really out there like it should be. Yes, there's a Frankenstein award for people who bring really crazy creative stuff like that. Big Mike, I believe, will be judging it this year. Frankenstein C20 is the originator of such award. So we got a lot of great things coming this year. I can't wait. And one thing I really like about the 5th annual, and maybe this is just me, you guys can chime in on this too, of course. And we have we have a lot of history now. We've got consecutive winners. We've got lots of things that happen in different years, and it's kind of time to start pulling all that together and start preserving some of this history and legacies of some of these things. I don't know what to tell you, Wendy. You do it every year. The site is exactly the same. I'll help you after this if you don't have it figured out. Rabbit Transit Jay, by the way, since we have some new people in here, is our perennial number 1. He is car number 1. Jay will never let go of that number. He is car 1 for life. And there's car number 2 right there with him. Indirect Connection Jason. Backwoods Performance has 272 days to get a 63 Plymouth ready to bring. I'm telling you, I wouldn't count on using all of them. One hiccup and the car doesn't make it. Indirect Connections is waiting for spring for that. He's another guy that always gets it done, is Indirect Connection Jason. Bad Tree Blake says, I have a 340 car with a 440. Is your 72 Duster a factory 340 car, Blake? I never even thought about that, actually. Thumper says, this event is one of the least expensive things you can do and have this much fun. The Dragon Drive I'm signed up for in August was $575 just to enter. Well, yeah, that's part of what happens when, you know, renting a lot of tracks and all that stuff. This is a cookout party in the middle of the country with my YouTube family. That's what this is. Vintage Adventure Drive says, I'm car number 171. I have the same number on my car as I do on my vintage dirt bikes. Excellent. Big Mike says, if someone is truly interested in building a Frankenstein vehicle for this year's event, put it out there so I can start following the builds. There you go. So if you're building some kind of freak vehicle, let Big Mike know. Tag Big Mike on it. Because as we go through the season, we like to start having guests that are participating in different things, like a panel of burnout people, a panel of people that might be participating in the Frankenstein builds, panel of bracket racers, etc., etc. I really am wondering, too, something that's kind of could be a sleeping giant, this six-cylinder bracket. There's a lot of fast six-cylinder cars out there. I kind of wonder what the quickest six-cylinder vehicle will be. JB won it last year, and we'll see what happens. Bad Tree Blake says Plymouth Arrow qualifies. I don't know qualified for what. I don't have the context of that, but Plymouth Arrows are cool. Blue Collar Performance is 41 and 142 in the No Name, or 42 and 142 in the No Name Nationals. My dad was 171, and so am I. Yep, well, we accommodate what we can, but I'm telling you, those low numbers are in short supply, and so we'll probably have a few turn up this year because people have to re-register by Labor Day to keep their numbers. So, you know, if you got a low number, you may want to keep it. Buff Del Campo says, is the Valiant Ute a Frankenstein build? And Big Mike says it certainly could be. And since Big Mike is the judge of this, he's the one to ask, not me. Bigfoot's and Mopar's panel of shiny cars. I want to say you owe us a shiny car to parade around in those pits in. We missed the Jack Pine Savage at the No Name Nationals. Just saying. Backwoods Performance says Rampages are awesome. I can get on board with that. Blue Collar Nate says I'd trade for 171 in a heartbeat. You know, if you guys want to trade numbers around, we can do that. Both have to agree to it, of course. Vintage Adventure Drives is nearing his first 1 million views. I have no idea how many views I have. Haven't a clue. JB says he'll try to do better in the six-cylinder class next year. How can you do better? You won it. How can you do better in next year? You won the class. Bad Tree Blake says, for one winter, I drove a one-of-one Mopar concept vehicle that was made for Cabela's. Bigfoots and Mopar said even the haters love the Jack Pine. Yeah, I guess. And Tanner tells me, he says, I have 5.5 million views now. Okay, I had no idea. I got to tell you, I don't know when I have ever even looked at that number. I really don't even know. Mid-South Lowballer says, I've mentioned my Rampage here before. I'll tell you, yeah, mini trucks are cool. I know Colleen's got that half pint, you know, and of course the Bad Tree guys got that little Ram 50. And yeah, I think they're great. But there are certain things that are just going to be so cool. We want to have a great starting line photo, get every car we can out there, lots of American flags. I think that would just be great to have American flags out there with the cars in the starting line. Take us a great group photo. It's fun every year. Mohawk is here. Mid-South Lowballer says, y'all encourage me to turbocharge, but I see those rods on the wall. Well, this one, in fact, is out of the Bad Tree Productions Nacho Cuda. Actually, I'll move that so you can see. This came out of the Nacho Cuda. It got hydraulic and broken. This is out of Andy Wood's Casper, his 393 that I was videoing when it blew up right beside me on I-40. And then this is out of Stephen Myrick, Big Block 402's truck. He grenaded the engine in that, and a huge oil down to clean up. But this is kind of a wall of infamy back here. And what you see over my shoulder here, this was given to me by Leighton back here. It is an actual trophy from George Ray's drag strip. And Robert Leighton won that in our community, and he gave it to me. I think that's really cool. If I reconfigure the studio a little bit, I'll have some of this displayed better. But I thought that was cool. I've always wanted to go to George Ray's, and I hear they don't do trophies anymore, but he had won that one. He had several of them. They gave me one. I thought that was so cool. Very nice of them. What are the rules on the 6-cylinder class? They are posted at NoNameNationals.com, Andrew. No changes this year. So it's just a 6-cylinder bracket. It's a bracket made for 6-cylinder cars. Foot brake bracket for 6-cylinder cars. But check it out. NoNameNationals.com. All of the rules are posted up there. Busted Radio Chris, hello. Thanks for coming by. We got Nate coming in here saying he's going to win the burnout competition at No Name Nationals in 2026. Just saying. Blue Collar Nate says turbo is bueno. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. He's done some great things with the turbo too. Mid-South Lowballer is an 80s Dodge fan. Yes. That's when you had all the Japanese stuff start coming in, like the Ram 50 and that Mitsubishi-based Challenger and those things. That's pretty cool. Bad Tree Blake says the piston came from one of the snappiest 360s we ever built. Oh, yeah, that car run, too. And they built a great 360 to put back in it, too. Let me tell you, the Bad Tree folks, their stuff runs. Their cars aren't lazy. Their stuff runs. They got a good reputation. I'd love to see the full battle battalion of Bad Tree come back for 2026. Bad Tree Blake said that motor never made a pass. It was a low buck contender. Yep, he's a runner. Blue Collar Performance. You got Nate in here stating facts. Well, Nate is a good builder. So, if you want advice on building good stuff, he's a good one to ask. Mohawk says, I'm holding out on that third pedal. Would really like to put a 4-speed in the car. As in a 518 or an A500? Bad Tree Blake says Hippie wants to swap out for a 5-speed. Oh my gosh, like a 5-speed manual, like a TKX or something like that. Indirect Connection wants to know if Busted Radio Garage is bringing the Gremlin to the No Name Nationals. Bad Tree Blake says, anyone want to trade a CRT 904 for a 4 to 6-speed setup? Bigfoot some Mopar says the Dirty Hippie won the burnout contest every pass he made when racing, then the contest. The Dirty Hippie did win the burnout competition, and he tell you what, he's been a top contender many times, and then won it rightfully. Puts on a great show. Love to see the Hippie come back. Busted Radio Garage says he plans to bring the Gremlin, Cricket, and Homer. You plan on bringing 3 cars to No Name Nationals? 3 burnout cars? That'd be pretty wild. My gosh, man. Do you have one of those, like big ramp wedges for 3 cars? Or what kind of trailer are you going to make do with that? Are you bringing 2 trucks, or how's that going to work? I'm telling you what, yeah. Yeah, no kidding. That'd be pretty wild. It'd be wild to see. Be wild to see him on the grounds with all 3 of those rolling around, too. Blue Collar Nate says you're going to need all 3 to beat us. I tell you what, I can't wait to see what Nate and his brother Floorboard there got up their sleeves. I have a feeling we're going to need safety glasses. Chris is going to try to bring a trio of cars. Oh, gosh. Blue Collar says it's going to be epic. Oh, you can count on that. Oh, yeah. Chris says if I can find the right trailer, he'll bring Monzilla as well. Gremlin's a bracket car. Exciting stuff. Exciting. This is going to be such an exciting year. I think this is the year a lot of people are going to, the programs of each individual person are really coming around, right? And we're starting to see people up their individual games to bring to the event, and that's going to bring more to the event. I got some stuff up my sleeve too. So as you know, I've always said, I just build the stage. You guys make the show, but I've got some things that I think are going to help make that stage on that show too. So the main thing is we just need people to get in and commit. I'd love to see big registration numbers early. That would be really exciting. Colleen says we all need to bring our full face shields. I never use the one I have at work. I will tell you, safety glasses are not a bad idea. Or if you wanted to wear a face shield or something, especially if you're going to be on the front row. Busted Radio Garage says, I will only need 1 car. The others are for show. Nate, friendly wager? Uh-oh. Here we go. Busted Radio Chris wants to see if Nate wants to put some cash down. Or that's not necessarily cash. He says friendly wager. Wager what? This is good. This is interesting. Bad Tree Blake says, telling Chris, fly out and we can put a bracket car with your stuff. Cool. Mexican Spec wants me to race something. I'd like for you to come there. How about that? Now, I'm not. I wouldn't take the van out on the track. Van goes out on the track usually once to deliver signs. So I can just slide them out, put them on the card walls as I go. Blue Collar Nate says, I'm your Huckleberry. We're going to pioneer grudge burnouts. You can do it at this event. You sure can. And so for those of you who are new here, the way we do the judging for the burnout competition, I try to get 5 judges, one from each from a different camp, so to speak. Like there's kind of cliques and camps where, you have groups of friends, for example, and they're all friendly. But I try to get ones who are from different groups, right? And then that way they each can give their input and they create a top 3 to 5, between 3 and 5, right? No more than 5, no fewer than 3. That's your top group. Then we have crowd applause, pick the winner from that top group. And I think that's the fairest way to do it. But We're going to see what happens, right? Lars is saying, get the waiters ready. And Russell's already got a scuba suit on. Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's a lot of fun. Busted Radio says, Nate, I'll reach out. We can come up with something fun for everyone. Hey, I like it, guys. You know what I ask? I just ask you keep things family friendly and the spirit of good competition. But hey, I love it. I think it's great. And when people have healthy things like that going, I am happy to help promote them. I mean, I remember the bounty that was put on Just Mopar Joe, and, you know, this is left over from that, right? So these things are great. Blue Collar says 100% hit me up. If either of you guys need exchange contact info, I'm glad to help you do it. Just let me know. If you need me to do that, I can gladly get y'all hooked up. Bad Tree Blake says our camp is unruly, heavy metal, lots of beer. Mohawk says I can't find my snorkel. Bad Tree Blake said Vintage Adventure Drives came in like a flea, hopped on everything. Yeah, man, he jumped in and participated in the spirit in which it was intended. Mount Mopar says he'll get registered soon. Going to be too fun not to. Kids are here and getting back to body work. Everyone have a good night. Hope to see everyone at No Name Nationals 2026. All right, man. We're going to see you. This is your year. All right, Nate. I will send you Chris's info. Please remind me if it slips my mind in the next 50 minutes. But yeah, I'll do that. We'll do it. Yeah, I'll tell you what, this is the first time I've seen this type of burnout pit call out. So it's exciting. I like this. Vintage Adventure Drive says, I bring the metal to my camp. I'm the musician of Camp Dust Devil. Yeah, I don't know why I call him that. I've always called him Camp Dust Devil because it just seems like Brian is kind of like the patriarch of that group. He is the oldest, and he's you know, so I've always called it that. They've all kind of rallied around him. He was the original streamer that would do the Wide Guys Car Talk live, and I've always just called it Camp Dust Devil for whatever it's worth. Good group of fellas. Blake is telling Vintage Adventure Drives Mopars to the front. Well, Mopars we have. Cousin Cletus joins the chat. He says, I'm late. Hey, cousins. Glad you're here. Cousin Cletus is going to be putting out something pretty soon. You guys want to check that out. I believe, let me get this right, Cletus, that's tomorrow that you're going to have a live about this. Is that correct? And let me get the link real quick. Do my part. I'm glad you swung by. Okay, I'm going to get my mods here on this. Since Mr. Lars is in the house, I'll send it to him. Mr. Lars, if you would, please share that with the chat. 7 p.m. Central tomorrow on Cousin Cletus's channel. He's going to have something cool, No Name Nationals related, you're going to want to check out. I'm going to let him tell you all about it. I could talk about it now, but I want you to see the live. Check it out. He has a challenge for 2026. It's going to be fun for whoever wants to get in on that. Backwoods Performance says no shortage of Chryslers in this community. No, there's not. But we got a lot of other stuff too. We were much more Mopar heavy the first year, but it has definitely reached much more equilibrium subsequently, especially Fords. T's Good Time Garage says, evening gang. Howdy, T. I believe our champion second annual. T is wanting to be the second repeat winner of the champion. T would like to be a two-time champion also. Or will Joe be a three-time? Or will somebody else take him out? Because I'm going to tell you, that's going to be a lot of competition in the bracket. A lot. Cletus confirms tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. So if you're listening to this tomorrow, don't be looking on Sunday. Saturday, December 27th, 7 p.m. Central on Cletus's channel. And I believe Dust Devil Garage will be live tonight after we are at 10 Eastern, 9 Central tonight. I've not seen the link for that, but Brian, if you're in here, you can confirm. Vintage Adventure Drive says, I believe I'm the only YouTuber in this community from Oklahoma representing Mopar. Off the top of my head, I think you're right. Who else from Oklahoma? I'd have to think about that. I think we have a few other Oklahomans we have in the past. I have to give that some thought. Blue Collar Mate says, lots of us low class LS guys. Yeah, we got everything. Those shows up. Yeah, Buff's Garage. We like, sure, if he'd like to, we'd like to have him. Few in Arkansas, a bunch in Arkansas. T wants to try to win it in 2026. And I'll tell you what, he'd have a good chance. Here is the link for Cletus's live. Lars has got it in the chat. So tomorrow, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, Cletus will be live. He's got a build challenge for the No Name Nationals for 2026 if you want to get in on that. JB says, everyone knows what I will bring, hopefully a little faster. Yeah, he and Don they bring the same vehicle, but they keep working on it. I think that's great. Busted Radio's got to roll out, has to edit. Thank you for swinging by. We appreciate you. Thanks for being here, Chris. And I'll get Nate your info right after this live. Thumper says Nebraska is greater than Oklahoma. Well, I've never been to Nebraska, and I've only been through Oklahoma once. Went through a piece of it on 40. Backwood Performances. I'm surprised there's a few of us in Kentucky didn't realize those fellows with the yellow Malibu weren't too far away. Bad Tree Blake says you can come stay in the RV. Is the RV going to come back to No Name Nationals, Blake? The Dougster is here. Glad you could make it, Mr. Dougster. Hopefully Dougster will come down with 20 good wheel studs and leave with the same 20 good wheel studs this year. But glad Dougster could make it. Vintage Adventure Drive says, if anyone's down I-40 in Oklahoma, you've been within 20 miles of my house. If you've been down I-81, you've been within 50 yards of mine. Backwoods Performance says, I took I-40 when I went to California last year. I have been the entire length of I-40. From Barstow, California, and here, and there's not much past here. Cletus reminds everyone to smash the thumbs up if you feel so inclined. Yes, Dougster is here, Main Street. Danny Boy says his high school is on US 40. Where is your high school? Dougster says 20 good wheel studs is key. Trust no one. Double check. Yeah. Yeah, I don't just hit it with an impact and call it good. I torque wrench every time. Oh, US 40 not Alpha. Well, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Battery, Blake. Thank you. Appreciate you, Blake. You know, I was talking, we have a lot of history for the No Name Nationals this year. There's all kinds of just little things, and they've all come from the history of this community. And speaking of Blake, it was Blake's creativity that helped bring us this logo, by the way. Blake is a super creative guy. For the new people here who don't know Blake, you should. He's a super creative guy. And he and Ben Schultz together, I think, put that logo together. And so I needed it to kind of season and look at it, and we cleaned it up so we could replicate it a little better in different formats. And that took a while. So it will be reproducible in different kinds of print medias and PDF and JPEG and PNG and different size graphics and embroidery. So you see, that's the thing. When you do a logo in embroidery, it's different. So we got all the formats right. All that. This is a really good durable logo. I liked it. It just screams vintage American national event, does it not? So again, that's just one of many little things that are just part of the cool history of the No Name Nationals. Do it for Duddy. Get Duddy to come back. We'd all love to have Duddy there. This is the year. Get Duddy back. Lars puts up a link, says Bad Tree Productions, the OGs. Yeah, I haven't heard from Duddy for a while, but I would love to have Duddy there. Duddy was such a great story. He puts that car together. The only testing he ever does with it is at the end of his driveway. Brings it to the event, runs like what did the thing run? Like an 8 flat? Something like that? And it stayed together and never broke anything? I mean, nobody does that, right? He built such a much better car than he gave himself credit for. Anyway, I'd love to have Duddy back there. Dougster says someone stole the wheels off the cop car. Now police are working tirelessly to find the culprits. There we go. Where's our Price is Right fail horn when we need it for that one, right? All right. The one-eyed cat is registered for the No Name Nationals. So I see Wendy figured that out. So I'm going to save that. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Wendy. Indirect Connection said, I bet some people's wheels were spinning to get that. Well, not the cops. They don't have any. Dougster says entry to the pasture is free, but there's a possibility the bull may charge you later. Could be. That's the original anti-theft device, is it not? Thumper has a name for Tanner's Scamp, the four-toed sloth. Battery Blake says, what's happened to him on YouTube is happening to us now. Free music that YouTube gave us for free is coming back 4 years later saying our videos with free YouTube music is no longer free. I hate that. And I've had that happen too. I've had it happen with a short and something else. Nothing of a lot of consequence to me, but yeah, changing the rules on that stuff later is not cool. In my opinion, when you put up a video and it's royalty free and all of that, then that's it. That should be locked in, grandfathered forever. I don't think they should ever be able to go back and do it later like that. Going forward, that's fine, but not retroactively. I just don't think that's okay. Blake says, and the few dollars we made are no longer. Yeah, see, I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's fair. Wendy says, I should have sent it to the North Pole. Well, is it going to vote right if it goes there? Tanner's talking about ancient sloths. Speaking of that, man, one of the things I was most impressed with when I went to the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History, where they have the dinosaurs and such, were the sloth exhibits, the sloth fossils. I had no idea a sloth could be that big. They were, you'd be shocked how enormous a sloth can be, those ancient ones. We're talking 20 feet tall, these things can be. Huge. Never seen anything like it. I had no idea. I just had no idea there was any ancient sloth was ever that big. But I don't know why that stuck out in my mind like it did. I mean, the T-Rex was massive. I expected it to be, and it was. But and the woolly mammoth is massive. You expect it to be, and it is. Man, the sloth was the one that really shocked me. Bad Tree Blake is talking about asking how YouTube has helped the event or the creator. You know, YouTube was eventually just for the community and people sharing their videos and so forth. And then they put the money in it. And then after they put the money in it, they started changing the rules and all that stuff and taking the money out for some and others and all of that. Just the way YouTube rolls. Yeah, the T-Rex are awesome. They found an even bigger one that's in the dinosaur hall, I believe, in Utah, and they're trying to unearth it now. It's really, really impressive. If you've never been there, it's something you really need to see. Wendy, you got to tell me because I can't keep this stuff straight that way. So just let me know what you got. Dean Stevenson says he's heard the Tyrannosaurus Rex carry small arms. Well, it's a good thing they lived a long time ago. They didn't need a permit then. And the Mid-South Lowballer is now registered for the No Name Nationals with 12 subscribers. So let's welcome him to the No Name 500. 12 subscribers. I'm going to put him up on the channel. There you go. He is registered. He's got 488 to go, and he can absolutely do it. The Mid-South Lowballer, Lars, if you don't mind, put his link in the chat. As soon as the live is over, we'll get him on the main page. That's the spirit. That's what I'm talking about. Battery Blake says, happy holidays, brothers and sisters. BTP is out. His daughter wants to ride the Yamaha dirt bike. Have a great time with family, Blake. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Cousin Cletus says 488 to go. Can be done for sure. Yes, it absolutely can. And there's 271 days, 2 hours, 29 minutes. That's plenty of time. He says, thank you. Gee, I got to make content. No more lazy. You can do it, man. You got the community to your back to help. You do your part, it'll happen. So we're looking forward to content from the Mid-South Lowballer. We want to see it happen. You're in the No Name 500. Yes, you're running last right now with 12 subs, but you're going to get there. Just keep making content. Listen to these guys who've done it. Most all the people in here have all done it. We're going to have content creator workshops. We're going to help you out. You do your part, we'll help you. You'll get there. Lars puts up the link to Mid-South Lowballer. So he's registered with 12. If you're not yet subscribed, go check out his channel. If he earns your subscription, please do subscribe if you feel so compelled. I don't tell people, hey, you should subscribe, because these guys earn it. So you got to earn it, and you'll earn it. I'm subscribed already. I was one of Mid-South Lowballer's very first subscribers. I'm already subscribed. Buff's saying he's got 19 now, 24 now. So you doubled your subscribers in about 2 minutes there, Mid-South Lowballer. Don't film your feet. Hey, if Blake gives you a tip on creating content, you should listen. Blake's a good one. If there had been a No Name 500 back in 2019, I would have been in it. Blake would have been in it. Just Mopar Joe would have been in it. Lots of channels you're familiar with. Unity Motorsports Garage would have all been in it. So Mid-South Lowballer's got 26. Just like that, he more than doubled his subs. And this wasn't even a sub drive live. But, hey, man, thank you for jumping in the No Name 500. This will help get you a little bit of a kickstart, but do it to it. J Bolivara says, I love Blake's mom. That's sweet of you, J-Bo. Dr. Go was sub 13. Indirect Jason was 15. I don't know what I was, but when he had 12, I'd already been subscribed. Lars puts up the link to Mostly Mopars. He's registered for the No Name 500, as is Left Turn Dodge and Mid-South Lowballer. So we now have 3 in the No Name 500. Hey, man, this is what this community is all about. We all want to see you make it. So you do your part, we'll help you. And it's going to be a fun experience. Ask any of these people here who've done it. JB did it. Tanner did it. Battery Blake was an established channel at the beginning of the No Name Nationals. Lots of us were. We don't hold that against anybody. But we got a lot of No Name 500 channels in here. You know, Dr. Go's a No Name 500 guy. Indirect Connection liked it so much he did it twice. Buff Del Campo is a No Name 500 guy, and he's actually the winner of the Cinderella Award for the 3rd annual. So, yeah, man, if you want advice, a lot of guys in here can give it to you and give you good qualified advice. Lars puts up the link to Left Turn Dodge as well. He was the first person in the 5th class of the No Name 500. Dust Devil Garage was an early No Name 500 guy. Yes, he was. And the first winner of the No Name Nationals clock was Dust Devil Garage. Thumper said, I made 504 months. If I can, anyone can. I believe Thumper was the 3rd channel to make. Were you the 3rd channel to make 500 subs ever? I think you were the 3rd graduate of the No Name 500, because RC Industries was #1, just barely ahead of Rabbit Transit Garage. They were about the same week. And then I think Thumper was 3rd. Battery Blake says, just don't bring a Chevy or Ford and you get a free beer. Everyone started with 0 subs. Some were just doing longer. This is true. all of us were No Name 500 guys at some time. It's just there might not have been a No Name 500 back when we were No Name 500 guys. We didn't know it. Dust Devil Garage is having a live after this. Here is the link from Lars. And also, if you don't mind, let people know that Cletus is having a live tomorrow talking about a build challenge he wants to do for the No Name Nationals for 2026. So you've got Dust Devil Garage tonight, and you've got Cletus tomorrow. Make sure to check them out. But I'm glad you're here, Blake. Appreciate you. Cletus says he's been on YouTube since 2009, didn't start pushing content until 2019. Nothing to it but to do it. I've had a YouTube account since 2006. Didn't get serious about it until 5 years ago or so, and been live streaming. Been live streaming for years in this time slot. And this is great. This is the time when we have our family reunion of YouTube content creators here tonight. Big Mike says, I was the 21st all-time graduate of the No Name 500. I did not realize you were 21, but yeah, that sounds about right. We have a list of No Name 500 alumni on the main page. And we have a list of contenders on the main page. Vintage Adventure Drives turns 26 years old in 9 days. Well, happy birthday. Vintage Adventure Drives also said, I started YouTube back in 2011 when all you needed to get monetized was 100 subs. I restarted everything in 2024. Yeah, they've changed the sub barrier a few times. I was thinking it was 1,000 first, and then it was 500. And I don't know. I thought they kept lowering that bar. I don't have any idea. I've never been in it for that. Wendy says, we are all family now. Mohawk says, Mid-South Lowballer, I'm your 30th subscriber. Cletus says, best community on YouTube for sure. On YouTube or anywhere. This is correct. 30 subs for the Mid-South Lowballer. So you're almost a third of the way to your first 100. Cletus says that you used to make money after 25,000 views and subs didn't matter. Okay. We know which box on the shirt that I check. I don't have any idea. Whatever I make on YouTube just goes back into the event and community. Vintage Adventure Drive says, I made a few pennies from YouTube right before they changed the threshold to 1,000 subs. Okay. Dougster says the weather's been goofy lately from Thanksgiving. Yeah, we had a cold December until real recently, and the weather's been very nice this past week. The week of Christmas weather has been very nice. The link is up for the live stream with Dust Devil Garage. He's going to be starting 15 minutes after we wrap for this. We'll wrap on time, give you guys a short intermission so you can get over there and join Camp Dust Devil for their live stream. Brian is a long time. He is as OG to the No Name Nationals as it gets. I had a group of friends. I was telling, hey guys, I want to rent a track in the middle of the country and have a cookout with my YouTube friends because I'll never live long enough to come and see everybody. And he's one of the first people that I told I'm going to do that. More than a year before the first event. So Brian is to say he goes way back with the No Name Nationals is an understatement. Blake, I have no idea. Dr. Goes says lake ice is thick, many months of freezing. 24-inch thick lake ice will hold a 25-ton bulldozer. That's stuff we just have no concept of here. Just none. Thumper says, I'm hidden on most live streams. Bigfoots and Mopars couldn't see me the other night on his. Probably it's your handle. If I had to guess, the more I look at it, that sweaty fat guy handle, YouTube probably thinks is, people are too soft for that or some bunch of nonsense. I don't have any idea. YouTube's got all these weird ways that they think they need to censor stuff. These weird, senseless ways. They've gone so overboard with that. Cousin Cletus says 78 degrees in Arkansas today. Dougster's got the intermission song from the old movies. Indirect Jason says he'll be there at least one of the weekends for, I guess, the ice drags. Well, Blake, the Dust Devils got a live coming up after me here at 9:15 Central Time. So we're going to wrap here in 20 minutes, and then Dust Devil will be live after that. Indirect Jason's in Tennessee right now. Feels like so. What part of Tennessee? Where are you, Jason? Are you hanging out in East Tennessee where I might be tomorrow? Or are you over in West Tennessee shooting your way in and out? Whereabouts? Crossville. Okay, cool. Excellent. Oh, did you go? Are you going to the track at Crossville? I'm guessing. I can't think of any other reason you'd be in Crossville. I'm assuming you're going to that really nice concrete 8th mile there. He's not on a state boundary. Crossville is, I don't know, about a third of the way across the state of Tennessee if you were going from east to west. Laura says Crossville's the golf capital of Tennessee. The only thing I know about Crossville is you can see a really, really nice 8th mile track right there. You can see it from I-40. I've never actually been on the grounds. I've driven down there to it before. Nice looking place. And actually, we were deliberating holding the first No Name Nationals at that track. We were considering it. It was in consideration. But all things considered, we thought that Sikeston, Missouri would be the right place for that event. Indirect Jason says, this is where my in-laws live. I'm picking up a rear axle for the Belvedere from Crispy Critters. Okay. Nice. Exit 317, that is correct. I believe 320 is Genesis Road, and there's a gigantic Buc-ee's there. I think that's right, actually. Colleen says Crossville's almost straight north of Atlanta. That sounds no, it doesn't sound right. It might be. It's pretty close. Yeah, it's pretty close. I have to look on the map. You're right. You're right. I'm thinking the way that the states are shaped. I think that's about right. Now you got me. Yeah, you know what? You're right. It's our eastern seaboard tucked in farther than I thought it did. You can see Atlanta and Knoxville on this map. Crossville's not too far from Knoxville. So there you go. Colleen, geography for the win. Bad Tree Blake says Aaliyah's watching and she was a baby when this started. This is true. Gosh, Blake, where's this time going? In between Nashville and Knoxville. This is correct. Yes, it is. Vintage Adventure Drive says that drag strip is 757 miles from him to Sikeston's 527. I would have thought it would have been more difference than that, actually, Tanner, but cool. And he'll be home just in time for another winter storm. Oh, gosh, Blake says she's going on 8. My goodness. They grow up fast, don't they? Cletus wants to know where Vintage Adventure Drives is. I was thinking he was near Oklahoma City. Peckerwood Customs Aaron from the other side of the world. Well, how many countries are going to be represented at the 5th annual No Name Nationals? We should have the U.S., We should have Canada. We might have a Californian. That would make 3, right? Are we going to have Australia, New Zealand, Mexico? J Bolvirus says, hi, Leah. Blake says, first time taking turns feeding her. It was cold back then. Andy Boyd says I-75 is about a mile or so to my right. I can look through the window and see I-81. Blake's saying it's hot last 2 years. Well, we've moved back 1 week this year from last year because other events have jumbled their schedules around. So, but I don't think it was all that hot. I think that you're just used to Iowa because to me it wasn't that hot. I thought the weather was great. I was completely happy with the weather. I like it hot. Indirect Connection says, guessing Tanner is around Little. Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't know. I've only been through Oklahoma once. Never got off I-40 for anything. Actually, I went somewhere, and the first time I ever ate fried pickles was somewhere in Oklahoma. Couldn't even tell you where. Mid-South Lowballer says, seems like good news. Okay. Find that link again. We'll check his sub count. Still got 30 subs. Cousin Cletus says some good channels in Oklahoma, trying to get some to come to No Name Nationals. Hey, you know what? Be a good time, good year to do it. That was about the Memphis drag strip, which I heard was bought by the AHRA. They closed on the 23rd of December, I believe. 3 days ago, they're going to bring Memphis back. Memphis is a wreck. And you know what? I'll show you the pictures of that. I got to tell you, this was something else. Look at this. Look at the tower. Now, you know, I guess the local population there in Memphis just destroyed the thing. I think it's only been closed 4 years, but look at that place. Looks like it's just been vandalized and destroyed. But, you know, he also saying he's going to bring back the drag strip in Commerce, Georgia, Atlanta Dragway, too, where they've torn the tower down and the grandstands are gone. Memphis, it looks like the grandstands are gone and the tower has just been ransacked. There's the strip. You know, it's still there. So we'll see what happens. Going to be cool. Blake says, I'd love to have an Australian No Name Nationals. Me too. I think it'd be wonderful. I'd like to see Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Mexico, and the United States all represented at the No Name Nationals. I think that would be wonderful. 1 year, Cleus didn't have a car to No Name Nationals, had a great time. Yeah. I've never heard anybody say, I didn't have a good time because I didn't have my car. Nobody's ever said that. They say, well, I didn't have my car, but I spent so much time having fun. It wasn't even a loss. That's usually what people say. Danny Boyd says, I'm never going to Memphis if I can help it. It's interesting. Let me tell you. It's interesting. It's the only city I've ever been to that has signs on the businesses that say, pull your pants up. and you cannot be admitted if you smell like marijuana. I've literally seen those signs on the businesses in downtown Memphis. One place I've ever seen that. Blue Collar Nate says Memphis was the first place I ever witnessed Top Fuel cars live. Let me tell you, Top Fuel, there's nothing like Top Fuel. You've either seen it or you haven't. It is wild. Bigfoot Mark says, I didn't have the goodest time without a race car, but it was still good. Yeah, well, you can have a good time. I mean, that's just what it's about. You want to have a good time. I do want to see Mark bring a car back, though. Loved seeing him run around the Jack Pine Savage, and looking forward to the Belvedere this year. Aaron of Peckerwood Customs is saying, fingers crossed this year, Jason. There's some talk about the U.S. letting us in easier now. Good deal. So I hope it works out for you to get here, man. We'd sure like to meet you in person. Blake says, I'm the person you send in some place to deal the vibe out. But Blake would be the guy I would send in for a lot of things. He'd be a good guy to have on the ground a lot of places. The Mid-South Lowballer says, I live here in Memphis, so I don't go downtown except to do car titles. Yeah, I can see that. Colleen says, we'll get John to write you up a permission slip. I can't. What weight would that possibly carry? Thumper's making something special for Tanner right now. Bigfoot Mark says that Travis got heat in his paint booth now, hoping to have the Belvedere painted in the next few weeks. Cool. Possibly. That Belvedere is going to be red, right? Bigfoot Mark, I think that's the plan. Red. Dexter says, my friend has a 429 Fairlane he would bring to the local Super Chevy show to run. It would turn out just as you imagine. I don't know. Can he? Does it have a Chevy engine in it? Do they allow that? They allowed my van to identify as a 62 Valiant one time at Carlisle. Don can tell you about that. Indirect Jason says, what about you, Dean? Who do we need to talk to get you here? Yeah, if there's anything we really can do to help, we'd be glad to help you. We'd like to see you guys get here. Oh, no, the car's going black. Okay, I was thinking you were painting it red for some reason. Glad I asked. That's going to be cool. That's why the bodywork took so long. That car is going to be beautiful, though. Racer Ray says, good evening, folks. Hope you all had a good Christmas. Indeed. But that said, guys, I want to just reiterate, we're going to have lots of cool stuff this year. 6-cylinder class coming back. The racket, of course, coming back. Monkey bikes coming back. Burnout competition is going to be wild. We're having the 3-pedal party on Saturday at the No Name Nationals. This is the year to bring back your friends and say, hey, we know it's a big commitment of time, travel, money to come to the No Name Nationals. If you haven't been in a while, this is the year to circle back and come back. We want a big turnout for our milestone 5th annual event, and all indications are this one's going to be the biggest and the best ever. So I look forward to you guys being the great ambassadors that you are, helping coming back. We want to see it. It is going to be so much fun. We're going to have more people playing music. We're going to have more people racing. Looks like in every single class and offering we have, we're going to have more. So it's going to be fun. We're talking about for Triple Crown. Dallas wants the Triple Crown guys, as many of them can drive as possible, to come out to Lambert's, have their own little section at the car show at Lambert's. I think that's pretty cool. The fact that the Lambert's car show could even have its own neighborhoods says that we're scaling this up slowly but surely. It's a really worthy event, and that's because of all of you guys. So Mohawk says, have a great night. Thanks for live. Talk to you next year. Well, don't forget that when this live is over, a few minutes later at 9:15 Central, 10:15 Eastern, Dust Devil Garage is going to be live on his channel. And he's kind of like the color commentary for what's going on with No Name Nationals in the community. I'm giving you the play-by-play. He does the color commentary. Glad to basically hand off for Brian. So if any of you guys want to watch the later show, go over there. The link is up. Lars put the link up for that. I'd appreciate it. In fact, put up the link for Dust Devil if you would. And then do remember tomorrow on Cletus's channel, he's going to be announcing a build competition that he's going to have. And it's going to be on Cletus's channel tomorrow, 7 Central. Cousin Cletus. Racer says he's going to be there for the Triple Crown. Excellent. Triple Crown looks like there's going to be more interest in it too. Everything is scaling up. So BTP is definitely not going live. We'll be on live. Cool. Here is Lars with the link to the Dust Devil Garage live after this. Thank you, Lars. I appreciate that. Again, for you new folks, since we have a few new folks here, Lars is an enormous help for me at the No Name Nationals. He helps me run things physically on the ground there and throughout the year, and I greatly appreciate that. And everybody contributes in their own ways, different things to this event. And but that's how Lars does. Lars really helps me like that. Much appreciated. And yes, JB, I can send that. I can do that. I need to remember that. Go live. Yeah, got a few more minutes here. Lars puts up the link for Cousin Cletus's live tomorrow. So go check that on the Cousin Cletus channel. We'll do that. Matthew Ward says good night. Good night, my man. Thumper says Ray makes good cookies. Yes, he does. But I'm glad you guys have all come out tonight. Can't think any housekeeping at the moment. We're going to be talking about some things throughout the year, but we just wanted to kind of sweep the floor and give any things we haven't done. We stretched it out throughout the month of December this year, giving you the date, giving you specifics, announcing the new classes and things we're adding. So tonight, we didn't have as much news all at one time. We normally have one big news info dump the last Friday of the year, but this year we just got to have more social time. We spread it out a little bit. Cletus says this No Name Nationals is fixing to be the best ever. I think that's fair to say. Padtree Blake is saying Wilbur makes it feel like the late 80s, early 90s. He's a great person. Well, I'm kind of an old soul. Yeah, I don't know. Late 80s and early 90s were great. You'd have enjoyed them a little more if you were a little older in the late 80s, early 90s, Blake. Those were good times. I was in college by the early 90s. The One-Eyed Cat says, pleasure seeing everybody. Welcome aboard. To the newbies, you're in for a great time. I would agree with that. Turbo Tom was just watching an 81 Dodge Challenger video. Yeah, this year is going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. I'm just looking forward to meeting all the new people and seeing all the familiar faces. This has just become the family reunion that I actually want to go to every year. So it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. And my knee is so much better. I would say it's 90% better now. And so I will not have that hindrance. I hopefully won't have that same hindrance again this upcoming year. It will allow me to enjoy it a little more. I enjoyed last year tremendously, but that's going to be a huge help to me if I can actually walk again. So I'm walking good now, but I just don't want to have that injury the days before the No Name National again. That was tough. But again, it's just part of the history, and I can look back and say, "Oh yeah, there was that one year I could hardly even move around." So, you know, hopefully things will stay good like that. But thank you all for coming out. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. Dust Devil Garage is live in 15 minutes. Cousin Cletus is live tomorrow. Don't forget the Tech Talk Live on Wednesdays with Dallas Professor P. That's also the good place to ask your tech questions and Triple Crown questions. And with that, we are out. You guys take care. And thank you.